Good Monday morning, everyone, and welcome into today's daily Bible reading for April the 10th. Today we are reading together in Numbers chapter 2. Numbers chapter 2. Hope that you enjoyed a wonderful weekend and a good Easter yesterday. It was certainly good to be with everyone for our Bible studies and our worship assembly. And hope you got to spend some time with loved ones and friends following that as well. Let's kick off our work week here in Numbers chapter 2, reading about the organization of the camp. So the idea here is, as Israel is now progressing toward the promised land, as they're on this migration, when they do set up camp, when the tabernacle is established, what we're going to have here is the look of the camp, the different directions each of the clans, the tribes are going to be arranged in. I have a picture that I'll show you once we get done as well, just give you a visual of what this would have looked like. So let's read about this here in Numbers chapter 2. Beginning in verse number 1, Numbers 2, beginning in verse number 1, Yahweh spoke to Moses and Aaron. The Israelites are to camp under their respective banners beside the flags of their ancestral families. They are to camp around the tent of meeting at a distance from it. Judah's military divisions will camp on the east side toward the sunrise under their banner. The leader of the descendants of Judah is Nahshon, son of Aminadab. His military division numbers 74,600. The tribe of Issachar will camp next to it. The leader of the Issacharites is Nethanel, son of Zoar. His military division numbers 54,400. The tribe of Zebulun will be next. The leader of the Zebulunites is Eliab, son of Helon. His military division numbers 57,400. The total number in their military divisions who belong to Judah's encampment, so who's in his rectangle, you might say, is 186,400. They will move out first. Reuben's military divisions will camp on the south side under their banner. The leader of the Reubenites is Elizur, son of Shadur. His military division numbers 46,500. The tribe of Simeon will camp next to it. The leader of the Simeonites is Shelumiel, son of Zurishaddai. His military division numbers 59,300. The tribe of Gad will be next. The leader of the Gadites is Eliasaph, son of Duel. His military division numbers 45,650. The total number in their military divisions who belong to Reuben's encampment is 151,450. They will move out second. The tent of meeting is to move out with the Levites' camp, which is in the middle of the camps. They are to move out just as they camp, each in his place with their banners. Ephraim's military divisions will camp on the west side under their banner. The leader of the Ephraimites is Elishama, son of Aminud. His military division numbers 40,500. The tribe of Manasseh will be next to it. The leader of the Manassites is Gamaliel, son of Pedahzur. His military division numbers 32,200. The tribe of Benjamin will be next. The leader of the Benjaminites is Abidan, son of Gideoni. His military division numbers 35,400. The total in their military divisions who belong to Ephraim's encampment number 108,100. They will move out third. Dan's military divisions will camp on the north side under their banner. The leader of the Danites is Ahiezer, son of Ammishaddai. His military division numbers 62,700. The tribe of Asher will camp next to it. The leader of the Asherites is Pagiel, son of Akron. His military division numbers 41,500. The tribe of Naphtali will be next. The leader of the Naphtalites is Ahira, son of Enan. His military division numbers 53,400. The total number who belong to Dan's encampment is 157,600. They are to move out last with their banners. These are the Israelites registered by their ancestral families. The total number in the camps by the military divisions is 603,550. But the Levites were not designated among the Israelites, just as Yahweh had commanded. The Israelites did everything Yahweh commanded Moses. They camped by their banners in this way and moved out the same way, each man by his clan and by his ancestral family. And that is Numbers chapter 2. Numbers chapter 2. All right, so looking at this text, we read last chapter, read on Saturday, about the census that took place, and it details all the different the 12 tribes as they're divided up, the regular sons of Jacob that we're familiar with. Remember, Joseph has two sons that Ephraim and Manasseh that end up taking his place. And then Levi doesn't count in this way. That's why whenever you look at a map, there are 12 tribes within Canaan. Levi does not have a specific tribe. You don't see Joseph, so those two spots are taken up by Joseph's two sons, Ephraim and Manasseh. So we have them. Now we're going to see exactly how it is that they are organized whenever they camp. You might think that it would just be the visual that we've gotten so far has been the tabernacle in the middle, and we're not really sure what's going on besides that. Well, here we get a pretty good picture that's painted for us, that the tabernacle is going to be in the middle. Closest to the tabernacle is going to be the Levites and Moses as well, and then stationed out from them on four sides, making, I guess, a giant square or giant X or plus sign, depending on how you would describe it, is the rest of the tribes. So let me pull up real fast that let me see here. Let me pull up that visual aid I can show you. Let's see here where we at. Numbers. Here it is right here. Pull this up real fast to make it big for you so we can see it a little bit better. Hopefully it won't mess up the resolution. The resolution's messed up a little bit, but hopefully it is still good enough for you to be able to see. Hopefully it doesn't give anybody a headache. Let's see. Let me share that with you. All right, there you go. You can see the visual here. Again, apologies for the blurriness. The resolution as I extend it just makes it a little blurry. But here we have in the middle, I believe you can see my mouse here. In the middle is the tabernacle right here, and we're given very specific instructions as far as the directions that it's supposed to go. So it seems that this direction right here is east, and the tabernacle's opening is to be facing the east where the sun comes up. So keep that in mind. So right in front is going to be Judah. Judah is mentioned in his clan, his division, his military division, verses 3 through 9 is Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun. We see them stationed here. That's the east side. Next, we have Reuben on the south side, Reuben, Simeon, and Gad. And this is also the Kohathites, which is Levi's son. So that particular family. Right here on the west side, then you have Ephraim, Manasseh, and Benjamin, which interesting, those are all together because remember, those are Joseph's sons. And also Joseph's brother, Benjamin, not just half brother, full brother Benjamin. And over here for the Levites is the Gershon, that family. And then finally on the north side, I believe is correct. Let me double check that. Yeah, the north side is Dan, Asher, and Naphtali. And that would be the son Merari, the son of Levi. So we have them here. We have them organized, number one, according to the flag or the banner of the different tribes. So it seems that they would have some banner posted up somewhere on here that would show that this is the tribe of so-and-so. But then even more so, they're divided up in this text by their, it says in the CSB, the flags of their ancestral families. Some say this might have been some kind of insignia on a particular flag that represented each of their particular families. The father's house, the families extended there, would be found here as well. As they march then, what would take place is as they leave, they would go out. Let me double check this. So as they moved out, then what would happen is Judah would take, let's just imagine they're going this direction. So they would go first this way. Then Reuben would follow behind them. Then the tabernacle would follow behind them. Then Ephraim and his group would go this way. And then Dan and them would go this way. So as they're marching, it would be Judah's division, Reuben's division, the tabernacle and the Levites, Ephraim's division, and then Dan's division. So it's not just this very unorganized mob that is moving, but it is organized in a specific way according to the instructions of Yahweh that are found here. So as they're moving through the land, that's what you would see here in, if you were to be able to watch them do this, you would see them moving in this particular order. Now, for the rest of the time, I want to focus in on what we see, just focus in on for a minute what we see concerning Judah, because here there's a difference between the previous chapter where they're listed. In the previous chapter, it goes Reuben, Simeon, Gad, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, Ephraim, and Manasseh, Benjamin, Dan, and Asher, and Naphtali. Well, here, Judah scoots up to the front, where Judah is in the premier position. And this makes a lot of sense once we consider going back, especially to Genesis chapter 49, where we see Judah take that leadership position within his family. Remember, going back a bit in the story of Jacob's sons, normally it'd be Reuben that would be the leader of the family. He's the firstborn. Primogenitor, I believe, is the technical term for that, the firstborn of the family. But his issues are well known with his, I believe, taking his father's wife for himself. So therefore, that was a no-go. He could not be the leader. Simeon also could not be a leader because he was a part of the slaughter of the, now just went blank, in Genesis chapter 38. We read about him and his brother, I think is Levi. Let me double check my work here. Genesis chapter 38 concerning, Genesis chapter 30. Let's see. Now, 1 second here. It's whenever they come into the promised land. They go and there it is, 34, Genesis 34, whenever Dinah is violated, has her issue with the, let's see here, with Shechem, where it is Simeon and then Levi, I believe. Let me double check that. Simeon and I cannot find it where it mentions which, I believe, yeah, there we go. My bad. Verse 25, Genesis 34:25. Simeon and Levi are the ones that go and slaughter Shechem. So they're no longer a go. Judah ends up taking the spot, although his story is kind of crazy in the fact that he has the issues with Tamar in Genesis 38. But at the end of Jacob's life in Genesis 49, he talks specifically there in Genesis 49 about the scepter not being removed from Judah. This is foretelling really a ton of the, gives foreshadowing to a lot of the leading role that Judah is going to end up playing, the tribe of Judah and such. Here we see part of that, I believe, and it's pointing even further to the fact that Jesus is going to come through the tribe of Judah, David as well. So here we see a little sneak peek of that, little foretaste of Judah really taking that prominent role. Here they are, the very first one, as the entire nation of Israel is on the march. Who's leading that march? It is Judah. They are the ones in the front of the line. They are the ones leading. We see that going back in the story of Jacob, back to Genesis 49, even before that. Here we see another aspect of that here in Genesis, or in Numbers chapter 2, where they're going to be the ones leading the Israelite nation as they are marching their way through the wilderness. So that's what we see here in Numbers chapter 2. Not just these instructions concerning their traveling, but also some of the significance behind Judah having this first spot here in the traveling party as they're moving their way through the wilderness. If there's anything else about this text that stands out to you, please feel free to drop a comment about it in the comment section. Or if you have any questions, please feel free to mention those as well. I appreciate you reading along with me here in Numbers chapter 2 today. We'll be back at it tomorrow, reading together in Numbers chapter 3. Hope you can tune in then. Take care and God bless.